All right. Hey, you guys. It's Amanda. What's going on? Happy Friday. As you're joining, say hello. As you're watching the replay, let me know. Replay love in the comments below. Welcome to day 2 of New Body Wisdom. I'll give you guys just a second to hop on as I take a little sip. I woke up to 53 degrees in Florida this morning, so it's like, it's much warmer now, but it was 53 when I woke up, so for me that's sweater weather. And so I pulled this out, haven't worn it in ages, and then promptly spilled chlorophyll tincture on my sweater. So I'll let you know how that turns out. At least it's green on green. Should have known better. I'm always spilling. I always have green smoothie stains on my clothes. But maybe that's an aspect of my identity that I'm ready to release. And that's what we're talking about today, release and surrender. Hey, Natalie, how's it going? How is it going up there? North Carolina. All right, I'm going to dive right in. I see you guys popping on. So if you haven't seen day 1, definitely go back and watch it later. We are talking this week and next. I'm coming on video every other day and then doing a written summary every other day. Yeah, cold. I'm sure it's cold everywhere else too. About new body wisdom. So what do I mean by that? We've had a lot of energies as I tap into the collective energy and as I tap into what's going on in the world, in the universe. There's a lot changing, right? And as of our solstice, and which is also the same day as eclipse and grand conjunction, we are turning over into a new era, basically. So our bodies, we might be setting goals. It's the end of the year. We might be reflecting and taking stock of the past year. And it's been, a crazy one for a lot of people. And this is something we do regularly. We have stillness at this time, right? And this is also a big change, a big turning over. So we've had a lot of crazy energies between our first full moon of the month, the new moon this past weekend, and the solstice coming up, and then we go straight into the holidays. So I wanted to come on and provide a little bit of both practical tips and things you can grasp onto mentally about what's going on and kind of make sense of what's happening in your body. A lot of you reported different symptoms, different fatigue, headaches, things going on with your menstrual cycle, just brand new sensations in your body, which is something I'm having. So we're just kind of giving space, giving name and giving space to what's going on, and just helping the process, just helping to bring it, to help our bodies transition to this new time, to their whatever you want to call it, light bodies, as we go forward. So yesterday we talked about, or the day before we talked about, I don't remember what we talked about. What did we talk about? Oh, body knowing exercises, speaking to your body, basically. Today I want to talk about releasing old fears and identities and the idea of surrender, right? The idea of basically in this lifetime, that's what we do. I had a memory pop up the other day. We're antagonizing our own beliefs, right? We're bumping up against our own beliefs so that we can continue to make choices in the direction of soulful surrender. So what is that? What does that look like for you? Kind of surrendering to the experience. And anytime we, a lot of times with full moons or new moons, we take stock, we try to release and call in different things. It's definitely a time. I'm doing this in a new way. Instead of these big journal or these big exercises, but I'm kind of bumping up against, I'm more becoming the observer, as we talked about yesterday, of where am I bumping up against like old behaviors and old beliefs in my life, and just observing them more like a game, like, oh, okay, that's kind of like, that's 2020 Amanda, and 2021 Amanda is going to bring in something new. So who do I be? Who, if I wasn't someone who did this, who do I be to bring in this new thing? So for example, like it's like rethinking, refeeling things. So if you're always someone who gets stressed out by something at work, one particular person, or there's always, you're always annoyed at traffic, or there's something like that, or you're always counting calories, or you're always, whatever the thing is that you're always worried about making rent, right? Or you're always worried about money. What is what if it's, instead of like immediately causing stress for you, you're able to kind of take yourself, eagle eye, see those? Eagle eye experience, and ask, okay, if I'm seeing this from a higher perspective, who do I be to bring in a new experience, to bring in a new feeling, to bring in a new thought here, right? If I'm someone who previously was always counting calories, how do I bring in a new thought or feeling to be someone who just is comfortable eating what I want to eat? If I'm previously someone who was always annoyed by this behavior of someone else that I can't control, how do I bring in, a new thought or feeling in order to, stay grounded in my own emotions and thoughts? So that's the idea of what we're going through, and it's more like just observing. You can always write it out via journal and do the ceremony and everything, but I'm noticing that we're being asked for kind of a lighter container, like just observing it, like going, oh, yep, like it's just like this game of chess almost, right? Like just observing your own thoughts and behaviors, and oh, what would it be like to choose a new thought or behavior? Interesting. Not bad, not good, just non-judgmental, like we talked about yesterday, releasing judgment for curiosity. So I hear you asking, so what does this have to do with the body? Well, the body mirrors what's going on within, right? So, and someone even brought this up yesterday in the comments in yesterday's. So if your body has the memory, the issues are in the tissues, the memories in the cells. So if there's a trauma, and even if there's not a trauma, if there's a certain belief system that's being held somewhere in the body, maybe in all cells, maybe it's like particularly housed in an organ or a system, and this is different for everybody. Or, maybe if you always have a pain in the side, or you always, or you always have a pain in the neck, right? What if that is mirroring you're someone with not great boundaries for yourself, right? A lot of times neck and head stuff is like trying to take on too much. So what if these are just examples of maybe some beliefs and things to try on. Just try it on like you're in a dressing room, see if these work for you. But do remember that they're held somewhere in the body. Hey, Michelle, good to see you. So, trying on a belief like rest is productive, right? If you're someone who's always pushed through and then crashed, right? Maybe working rest is productive. Maybe the pain in your neck will subside when you say no to some things and give yourself some decent boundaries. Maybe the pain, whatever, maybe the pain in your tummy will go away whenever what's making you anxious is addressed, right? So surrendering to the experience is important here. And also, I saw another meme pop up in my memories, which is like, said, relax, nothing is under control, right? We tend to think we have so much control, and we do as divine creators in one sense, but in another, we are being asked to like surrender to what our higher selves have chosen for us, like what we chose for ourselves. So that's how it has to do with the body. The body will mirror whatever is going on in your life, emotionally, mentally, trauma-wise, behavioral-wise. And in addition, we're shedding like so many old beliefs fast as a society right now. You see it, especially people in my generation, we see it happening. Do you remember how different things were when we were kids, right? Things are becoming more conscious. So food-wise, you might be, like, we're in this transition time, so food-wise, you might be totally, like, at a loss, right? I know during the time, like, even now, during the time, having COVID was one thing and like my appetite during that, but even now, I'm having periods where I'm not eating I'm just not hungry, no appetite. You might be having no appetite. You might be having like a voracious appetite. You might be craving like weird things. You might want to just be like super fruits and vegetables and all the healthy things one day and then, eat a whole pizza the next. So this is common, and like kind of stepping into, again, that like blank slate, or like if I didn't know anything about what was, healthy and nutritious for me, which is a significant exercise for me, right, with all my training, but to like take it down and be like, deconstructs the craving, and why do I think I'm feeling that way, and what does this specific food do for my energy, what does it do for my belly, what does it do for my BMs, like we talked about yesterday. Like really noticing that. When we talk about release, right? Our body has a beautiful system of release that we can support every single day. So again, kind of being light and treating life like a chess game, and just the acknowledgement that your body will mirror whatever's going on the outside. And oh, interesting, I see Amanda down there and she's doing this, this, and this. Maybe if she did that, that, and that, she wouldn't have those pains in her neck, or she wouldn't, whatever, Michelle says, that's probably me, chronic tight neck and shoulders. Yeah. So, and a lot of us have like the same recurring thing because those are our tendencies, right? And that kind of comes off in layers. So the other thing about this is another big belief that as a society we are kind of dropping is what I already said, right? The whole idea of push, 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 go, 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 and not giving ourselves time to relax and rest and be still and to find the wisdom in the stillness. And so that's another big one, is allowing not being so afraid of stillness and alone time and time with our own thoughts and feelings, to even see what's there, right? Some of us don't even know what's there because our time is filled all the time, right? That was certainly me years ago. So I think a lot of what I found when I slowed way down the past few months and was in communion with my body, which is what we talked about yesterday, is the wisdom in the stillness of being able to even enter into a dialogue that deep with my body and with my organs. So, what questions do you guys have, and what do you already know that you're like is a belief or behavior that A, is affecting your body, and B, that you know you want to release? And can you kind of see it as a game? Can you kind of see it as a just a moment in time, like, oh, we just dropped into December 2020 on Michelle's life, and look what's going on. You know, like if your future self came to visit you, she'd be like, oh yeah, wow, you've come so far, and wow, you're gonna go so far as well, right? Like let's change and tweak these little things. Yeah, I wrote down other stuff, but I can't read my notes anymore. I don't know what I was trying to say, and that's okay too. I will let you guys know that you will feel different. Like, I'm supporting you through this week and next week leading up to Christmas. You're gonna feel different come Monday, but it's gonna take a while to settle. So I've created this New Body Wisdom Intensive, which is just simply two sessions with me, but they're spread out a week apart to kind of help you specifically with what's going on for you. And I can use my body channel and all the tools that you guys know I have to kind of tap in and help you transition to your new body. So that's 2 sessions, and you get written support, right? Like messaging support or email support, whatever works for you in between, as you would a one-on-one client. So definitely DM me if that's something you're interested in, because I have space for 5. Someone's already snatched 1, and then somebody else is messaging me. So I'll have a few left. Michelle says, I have time alone, but I do tend to do things. Or like, yeah. So we tend to, okay, I'm glad you brought that up. Like listening to a podcast while we walk or while we shower or something, right? We tend to, and this will have to do with our masculine and feminine and just us being in a masculine society and having grown up this way, but we tend to think we have to be productive all the time, and we like do our being, if that makes sense. We masculinize our feminine. So there's something for me, like for the feminine likes to putter, like she loves the journey, right? It's not about the destination, it's about the journey for the feminine. So for me, taking like 2 hours in the kitchen, and like making a meal, like just taking my time making a meal and enjoying the process and turning on some like French classical music and like putzing around and a little bit of this and a little bit of that, a little dance party in between, and oh, I'm gonna taste this, and make sure this has enough cinnamon and all that sort of thing. Like the experience is the being and is the feminine and is the stillness, instead of like the half hour, like you gotta get the meal done in 20 minutes, or whatever. Michelle says she feels massive guilt if she's not somehow productive. Right. And that's common because we've been raised that way. So what if your worth is not tied to your productivity? What if your productivity is, what if we redefine productivity? What if resting is productive? What if being in stillness with yourself is productive? What if, in that way that we redefine productivity, what you're unearthing about yourself is the most productive thing you can do? who do you be if you're like, who do you have to be someone who values yourself just simply because you exist, because you are, not for your productivity? Or where does that guilt come from? All lovely questions to ask. And this is, we've been releasing identities and beliefs all year. Like 2020, this is something that has been going on all year, but it's kind of culminating right now. And so it may feel like, oh, I'm doing this again, but really you're kind of coming to the bottom layer of a spiral, right? So for me, like 2020 asking me to not just be still and slow down, but be in one place, right? You guys know I was basically a digital nomad for 3 years, right? So people that were kind of like code carriers, pollinators, going to these, I mean, that's how I see it in the energy, right? Like kind of, there's both codes for them, like there were codes for me in the places where I traveled, but I was also energetically moving things around, have been asked to take the adventure of staying in one place and take the adventure of growing roots and take the adventure of stillness, right? And of ground, like what does groundedness mean in this scenario? And so there's the stuff that's been going on for you all year of releasing identity and like turning over, and there's all these jokes about decades in months, and it feels like that because we are getting lifetimes of lessons in 1 year, right? It's almost like reincarnating into the same life again and again. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like a totally different person than just last January or a year ago last December, or this January or a year ago last December. And then there's the little things of like, okay, I'm getting these totally new sensations in my body. If I were alien, if I didn't know anything that I knew, right? If I didn't have any of my training, what would I think was going on for me? If I didn't have any of my training, what would I think was going on for me if one day I want to explore? What is this thing? Like, what is this blueberry? What is this slice of pizza? Like, how does this make me feel? Really easing up on judgment, good, bad, releasing the guilt, releasing the shame around any of these things that we've just arbitrarily decided are bad or good, right? Productivity or like certain body shapes or whatever. We're just kind of like releasing that and just being real light about our noticing, like just the noticing, like, I want to move this chessboard around a little bit, this chessboard of my life. All right, I think I've gone on long enough, but thanks for joining me, ladies. Natalie says it's been a great year of growth for me, and I'm making you hungry. Okay, go have some blueberries or some pizza. I don't know. You tell me. You tune into your body. But let me know below, you guys, what do you want to release in your body? What do you want to release in your beliefs and identity? And who are you choosing to step into after December 21st and on into 2021? I love you guys, and I'll be back probably Monday. So I'm doing this every other day up until Christmas. So join me, and I love you. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.